I had just settled into my new house when the nightmare began. At first, it was just small things. A note on my door telling me my mailbox was out of compliance. A letter warning me that my lawn violated HOA standards. I brushed it off. After all, I wasn't even a member of the HOA. But Karen, the self-proclaimed queen of the neighborhood, had other plans. She wanted control, total control, and she wasn't afraid to lie, threaten, or even call the cops to get her way. What she didn't know, the law wasn't on her side. In fact, it was in my family. It started innocent enough. Karen knocked on my door, clipboard in hand, fake smile plastered on her face. "Welcome to the neighborhood," she chirped. "We just need to go over your HOA dues. It'll be $1,500 for the year. You can make the check payable directly to me, since I handle collections." I stared at her, confused. HOA dues? I didn't buy into an HOA community. My realtor specifically told me this street isn't under the HOA's jurisdiction. Karen's smile cracked, just slightly. "Well, we recently expanded coverage. Everyone around the lake is required to join. It's mandatory. If you don't pay, there will be consequences." She leaned in when she said that word. Consequences. I didn't budge. "I'm not paying you a dime, Karen." And I shut the door in her face. That's when the campaign began. Letters taped to my garage. Violations for things like leaving my trash, can out an extra hour. Harassment about my garden hose being visible. Even a note about my coffee mug when I drank it outside on the porch. But the real blow came 2 weeks later. I walked outside to find a bright orange sticker slapped on my truck windshield. "Vehicle will be towed. Unauthorized parking." It was parked in my own driveway. That's when I knew Karen wasn't just bluffing. She was escalating. That evening, she showed up again, this time without the fake smile. "You think you're clever?" Ignoring me, she hissed. "I run this neighborhood. Everyone follows the rules, and so will you. If you don't, I'll make sure you regret it." I laughed. Probably not the smartest move. But I couldn't help it. "You don't own me, Karen, and you don't own this street. Get off my property before I call the cops." Her eyes lit up, not with fear, but with excitement. "Oh, don't worry," she sneered. "I'll call them myself." And that's exactly what she did. The next afternoon, I was working in my garage when red and blue lights flashed across my driveway. I sighed, wiping grease off my hands. Of course she did it. She actually called 911. Karen strutted down the sidewalk, waving dramatically at the patrol car. "Officers, over here. That's the man. He threatened me. He's trespassing on HOA property and refusing to comply with regulations. I demand you remove him immediately." I shook my head. The lies rolled off her tongue like she'd practiced them in the mirror. The officer stepped out of the car, tall, broad-shouldered, and wearing a serious expression. For a split second, my stomach dropped. What if they believed her? What if this turned into a nightmare of legal fees and wasted time? Then he looked up. Our eyes met, and he grinned. "Cousin, what the hell are you doing here?" Karen froze. "Wait, what?" The officer walked right past her and gave me a hug. "Man, it's been years. I can't believe you moved out here. How's Aunt Linda? Still making that pie at Thanksgiving?" Karen's face drained of color. The officer finally turned to Karen. His tone shifted, no longer warm. "Ma'am, what exactly is the emergency here? Why'd you call 911? Karen sputtered. He threatened me. He's breaking HOA rules. He owes us money. He's dangerous. Arrest him right now." The officer pulled out his notepad. Calm. Professional. "Do you have any evidence of these threats? Any witnesses? Any legal documents proving his property is under your HOA?" Karen blinked. She hadn't expected to be questioned. "Well, no, but everyone knows. He's a troublemaker. Look at him. He parks his car in his own driveway." I bit back a laugh. The officer scribbled something down, then looked her dead in the eyes. "Making false reports to law enforcement is a crime, ma'am. Punishable by fines and possible jail time. Are you sure you want to continue with this statement?" For the first time, Karen hesitated. I didn't mean false. He cut her off. "Do you realize you pulled me off an actual emergency call to complain about your neighbor's coffee mug and driveway parking?" Her mouth opened, then closed. The crowd had gathered now. Neighbors peeking out from porches, watching the showdown. Whispers spread. Phones came out, recording every second. Karen tried one last desperate play. "You can't do this to me. I'm the president of the HOA. I'll sue all of you. I have lawyers downtown." The officer raised his hand, shutting her up. "Actually, ma'am, I ran your HOA's registration before I came. This organization hasn't been legally recognized for over 2 years. You're operating without proper authority." Gasps echoed through the crowd. Karen's face turned beet red. That's not possible. I've been collecting dues." The officer's eyebrow shot up. "You've been collecting money illegally? Interesting. That sounds like fraud to me." Karen's knees actually buckled. She stumbled back, looking around desperately for someone to defend her. Nobody did. In fact, one neighbor stepped forward. "She fined me $500 last year for a garden gnome. Said it was an HOA violation." Another neighbor added, "She told me she could have my dog taken away if I didn't pay her special assessment fee." Voices rose all around, years of resentment bubbling to the surface, and all of it recorded live on half a dozen smartphones. The officer finally pulled out his radio. "Dispatch, I need a second unit. Possible fraud investigation. HOA president threatening residents and extorting money." Karen's jaw dropped. "No, you can't. This is my neighborhood. I make the rules." The officer shook his head. "Not anymore, ma'am. From now on, the only rules you'll be dealing with are in court." As the second squad car rolled up, Karen's voice grew shrill, desperate. "You'll regret this. All of you. I run this place. I am the HOA." But her words didn't matter anymore. The cuffs clicked around her wrists. The crowd erupted in applause, and Karen was led away, sputtering excuses that nobody cared to hear. That night, the neighborhood felt lighter, peaceful. No more fake fines, no more threats, no more clipboard knocking on doors. A week later, an official letter came in the mail. The HOA had been dissolved. Every resident was free from Karen's reign of terror. And me? I framed the letter and hung it in my garage. A trophy, a reminder. Karen thought she could control everyone with fear. She thought the law would bend to her. But she forgot one thing. Sometimes, family really does have your back. And in this case, my cousin wore a badge.